Mr. Rob Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is this image, mate? Because I keep thinking of bad things about it before I get started. Can we
What is
change
it?
it? Well, it looks like I don't know,
I
you're
don't.
urinating off a caravan. I don't know what you're doing. What is it?
Hold on a minute, mate. Let's see if I can change it. Hold on.
Yeah, change it.
Hold on a minute.
Could be
Hold on.
something worse now.
There we go. This is one of his WhatsApp pictures now.
Hold
It's
on a
probably
minute.
you put up Keir Starmer or something. I know what he's like.
Hold on a minute. Uh can you do it when you're in the meeting thing? I don't know. Okay.
Attention's killing
Just
me.
the tech. Obviously a younger near Aaron. This tech savvy stuff that you're surrounded by, mate. You must be impressed.
Yeah,
It's like I've got me.
it's something.
There he is. He's got the big job. He's got the big job.
Fantastic.
You silly ass. Right. It gives me great pleasure to introduce episode 148 of this Sussex by the Sea podcast, New Year's edition. A big shout to Mark from Sittingbourne. Christmas, New Year's good for you, fella?
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Having a newborn just come along, born late, come along on the 28th, and we had to wait till New Year's Eve to see her, and that was most pleasant. That's probably the best New Year's present we've had in ages. So no drinking, will you believe, on New Year's Eve. So seeing a little baby, and that was a good New Year. I haven't seen much football, not of our lot. Our game was called off an hour before kick-off, just as we got there. So we headed down to Folkestone to see him against
We're gonna
Chatham. Yeah, we
already starting.
yeah,
Excellent.
and I went yesterday as well. So I'm an almighty jinx. So all you lovely people listening, if I go and see your team, you are going to lose. Because I'm a complete jinx of the first order. Whoever the home team is, they're going to lose. So we had a good win at Mersham away. Very good game. Hard place to go. Obviously, we had the only game without an. We'd go to Mersham. Everyone had local derbies. Ours was put back to the Saturday the 3rd against Sheppey. And of course, it was called off right at the last minute, just as we all get there. After announcing 11:15, the game was on, so we was halfway on our way. So we thought we'll go. Just getting there, and they called it off. So an hour before, so that's most unpleasant, but it happens. So at least we were. Yeah, we was lucky. We was a 1 o'clock kickoff, so we had a chance to go somewhere else. Otherwise, you know what it's like. You go on a Saturday, and it's you're looking forward to it after a stressful week. You like to go and.
Well, Mark, what we do, we'll talk, introduce everyone, and then we'll come back to you because obviously I want to hear all about the Folkestone game, mate, in minute detail about the magnificent Folkestone Chatham game. A big shout to John from Canvey. Christmas and New Year's good, mate.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Nice fun with the family. I think it was the first Christmas we actually got to spend with people for a few years because illness has done us in the last couple of Christmases. But nice to have my nieces, my niece and my nephews around, young kids. So, you see the joy of Christmas on their face while you're just enjoying your time off work, really. But yeah, other than that, mate, quite a bit of booze consumed up until New Year's, and yeah, seeing what January brings now.
Excellent. Right. I think it's Big Sam, or it might be Rob from Folkestone. Christmas, New Year's good with you, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate. Yeah, and you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, me. Yeah, good. Not
Yeah, it's been good, mate.
some
It's been
family
good.
shenanigans, but that's always happening. Yes.
Yeah.
So when are you taking over? Is this Maduro, isn't it? Is this Maduro land, or what we doing here?
Well, that's Big Sam, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Big Sam. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's usually the man to get you out of trouble.
Well, yeah, I think he's needed at West Ham.
Yeah.
I think a miracle's needed at West Ham. I don't know about big.
Absolutely, yeah,
Running out of
goners, mate.
Christmas.
Over to Rob from Horsham. I hope your Christmas and New Year's was good, fella.
Yeah, can't complain, mate. It was all good, quiet with the family, but no, yeah, it comes and goes pretty quickly the minute you're back at work. But no, it was enjoyable time off.
Thank you. Also got to talk to Aaron, who is returning after I think a couple of years now. Aaron, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah,
Been a lot moving about.
Was hashtag, but now Concord Rangers in charge of their social media empire. So I like to see how Aaron and John are going to get on here. Obviously, Concord and Canvey are bitter rivals. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. If you didn't know, but so I can imagine you're spamming Canvey when they're losing. I mean, is it all Concord Rangers stuff or what? How's this media empire work, Aaron?
It's been a bit weird because as you said, it's been about 2 years now. I was at hashtag, got an offer to go down to Essex Senior to do media over there, and then ended up getting another message saying, "Do you want to go over to Concord?" And fun fact,
big money transfer?
No. It's all for the love
for the
of the game.
sake of this
All for the love
podcast,
of the
make it
game.
up, mate. Come on, big money.
Yeah.
Thank you.
50 million. 50 million.
50 of your Earth dollars? Yep. Yep.
Yeah, fun fact, I was actually talking to Canvey as well when I picked Concord. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good over there. It's a lot different, and obviously when Concord win and Canvey lose, hey, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Yeah, because you're only mid-table, weren't you? You're mid-table.
Yeah.
You're not.
We've been unlucky at it recently. We've had chances to put games away and not done it, and then obviously I'll talk about Saturday just gone a bit later on. But yeah, that was an absolute shambles of a game. It should never have started, and then they called it off at half time. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, what? Just while you're on,
in the league.
yeah, while you're on, like one of my abiding memories, and I think anyone that's ever been to Concord, I presume everyone on this podcast has been to Concord Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been
Yeah.
there. Is that wonderful smell? Yeah.
it's gone.
What do you mean it's gone?
Well, I can't smell it. I can't smell it. So,
Yeah,
I
you're
can't
immune
smell
to it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't even drink. You can't even drink a beer there. It's the delightful smell of Concord. I was very sad to see you go down a few seasons ago because I could. Yeah, I mean,
no,
you can't even smell it.
I can't smell it.
Wow, I'm speechless.
But yeah, so yeah, lots of weird times at the moment over at Concord. The whole media thing is going quality. YouTube videos going out weekly, highlights, and
So just for people that are listening, so what's the Concord YouTube?
Beach Boys TV. It's called
Beach Boys TV.
Beach Boys TV, because obviously we're the Beach Boys.
Any thoughts on that, John? Johnny, any comments?
I mean, I'd have another name for him, but I'm not going to say it on it.
Concord Island.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
for a while.
I'm liking this now.
You know, we've been so unlucky. We've been so unlucky in terms of results and stuff. It's been up and down, up and down.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to while you're on, you want to talk about? Like, I mean, your sort of season so far. You know, you were. I mean, you've been struggling on quite a bit. I mean, when you went down, I mean, that's when I last saw you, really. But to stabilise in the league below isn't the worst. So I mean, tell me what the sort of squad's like. What's the aspirations of the team? Is it kind of, you know, sort of mid-table this season? Maybe look at pushing up, or are you lucky to be mid-table? Sort of fill us in.
So to be fair, so when I joined, it was about 2 months ago. So I joined as they were sort of around the playoff sort of area. And from what I saw of the team, obviously we've had a big move with, obviously Jacob Marsden gone over to Canvey. And then we also had Bobby Kelman, Bobby Kelman, who then got a move to Hornchurch.
It's a decent sides going up the leagues, yeah.
Yeah, apart from Canvey. But yeah, so we've lost two big players, really. But to be fair, we haven't got a bad squad. We haven't got a bad squad at all. We've been unlucky with a few injuries and stuff. Saturday just gone with a really, really good chance to sort of get back on winning form again. Obviously, an unforgettable game against Bowers. We were 2-0 up, penalty, and then across that went into the top corner, and then we end up losing 4-2. We completely threw it away. So Saturday was sort of our turning point of we need to start getting points now. Played well. Played against Grantham, who are bottom of the league. Much rotated squad to get some players minutes. Went 1-0 up within 2 minutes, and then the referee decided to call the game off at half time for the frozen pitch.
Thoughts on that, John? How upset were you about that?
To be fair, I'll drop them a message. It surprised me it even went ahead because everything around here was frozen. You know, you had no chance getting games on grass on. So how that even come to be in the first place, I have no idea.
But if you kick the game off, it's what annoys me. I don't know, maybe I'm just old. I remember orange ball, snow on the pitch, proper men's game, and if they've kicked the game off, how did the conditions worsen? You know, if you've already got that benchmark of right, we're happy for this game to go ahead. Why?
this is what annoyed us because it was the case where obviously you started doing all like the pre-match stuff on the pitch. Soon as I stepped foot on the pitch, I was like, I can literally hear myself walking. I'm just wearing normal shoes, and you could, when the players were warming up, taking their shots in front of the goal, you could just hear the stomp on the ground where it's so hard. So how the game even started, I don't know. But it's like the same move. There was a game over at Holbridge. I don't know if you saw it, John, where they kicked off and after 3 minutes you called it off. Just what's the point of starting
I
that?
did that as well.
It's just
Oh, believe really. Some of these refs come to that decision and then change their mind literally within minutes. So
yeah. Then obviously you played against Downham away a few weeks ago, drew 0-0, which was one of the longest away days. Drawing 0-0 is probably the most boring game I've ever watched. And then this Saturday, we've got Cambridge City away, which is obviously Cambridge. So we don't know if that's going to be on or not because I don't actually know what the weather's like in Cambridge. But I know that up there they've had snow. So if that's off, it's a weekend off. I might go down and watch Hashtag play.
Oh, okay.
But
all right.
yeah.
All right. Well, cheers for that, Aaron. It's lovely to see you back.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Who should we go to? Let's go to... we'll go back to you, Mark. It was quite good. But that Merstham win... you just, from what I watched, you manhandled them in a sweet winner.
Me and my son went to the game. I've seen us win there before, but it's a tough place to go. Not many teams go there to win. They're all big and very difficult. The pitch is normally pretty awful there when we turn up. We had a really massive support there cheering us on. I was quite shocked. We always do take a lot of fans away, and we went 1-0 down with a free kick quite early on. We were playing quite well.
Real beautiful screamer, really.
Yeah, he kind of parried it and it dropped into the bottom corner. We had some good chances in that first half, and we got an equaliser from a corner that was tapped over the line, literally. And
it doesn't matter how it goes in, mate.
This is very true.
It doesn't matter how it goes in. The goalie I'd have had too many pies Christmas Day, I reckon. But it was good goal.
The second half was just all us. And you've seen the highlights of the goal. He come in on his right, from the right hand side on his left foot, and he just hit the top corner. And I was right behind it, and you could see it was going in from the minute he kicked it. So that was good. It was very disappointing then to have the derby game off. Because imagine if Concord were playing Canvey, they'd be most disappointed not to have it on a Boxing Day or the day after and wait for the Saturday. And I don't get that. Why we had to go to Mersham and everyone else had their local derbies. We've obviously dipped out there. So our game's now going to be in February against Sheppey. So obviously we went down. We got there at 12 o'clock. Had a good idea it would be off because we play on grass. As soon as we got there, you could see it was frozen. Why he did it a second time, a second inspection? I don't get that. 11:15 said it was on, so they put it on social media. It's on, so everyone turned up. There would have been a big crowd and get there at 12 o'clock. And everyone it is, but at least it was a 1 o'clock kickoff, so it gave us chance to. I looked at the games that are on Faversham, Whiteleaf. Obviously, we live in Ashford now. I've done for a while, so obviously folks have been down the road.
I was going to say you didn't come to the Ashford game, did you? You're the reason we lost. No.
But me and my usual, because I do like to ground hop as well. I do like a midweek game. Obviously, I wanted a game on that Saturday, so begrudgingly with the good old lady did the driving. Then we went down to Folkestone, freezing cold. What a good crowd that was that day at Folkestone. Chatham played really well. The game was marred by a serious injury to their striker. I was literally almost level with it, and I gasped. It was horrible. He ended up being carried off to hospital. It looked like an elbow.
Folkestone or Canvey?
Yeah, Adi Yusuf. He's a quality player. Wherever he's played, and whether it was intentional or not, it just didn't look good by the number 5. I think his name's Butler from playing for Chatham, but. Yeah, it's kind of soured the day. You don't like to see that at a football game. Chatham were the better team. I think Folkestone had at least 3 of the players I recognise out. Biggett shouldn't really be playing at this level of football, and there was 2 others out as well. They just looked a bit disjointed to me. Chatham controlled it. There wasn't a huge amount of chances, but Chatham took them.
I see. As former Hastings player, Cian Moyes got the winner, I think, for Chatham. What was the winner like?
We was flat by the goalkeeper. I think he crossed it and he flapped it. And I think the guy whacked it in at the back post. I think. Yesterday's game.
They all count though, don't they, Mark? They all
This
count.
is very true. This is very true. I went obviously yesterday as well. One of only 6 games that I was on last night.
You've got to go 3 times. 3 times the charm, Mark. I think. What do you reckon,
I
Rob?
don't think folks are going to let me in again after seeing 2 consecutive home defeats. But last night's game was a complete and utter smash and grab. To be fair, they scored with. I think they had 1 or 2 chances in the entire game. It was well taken.
I've never liked Aveley. Oh, it's just an ugly team. Ugly team.
Yeah.
Terrible. Where's their ground? I remember it's like, didn't they share or?
So hashtag share with them.
Pardon?
Yeah, hashtag share with them.
Yeah.
The game last night, the second half, they hit the crossbar twice. I think I counted maybe 14, 15 corners they had. The ball would not go in the net. It's just one of them games where I knew early on the folks weren't going to get nothing out of it. It's just they played really well. I've seen them probably 5 times this season. They've all been, because obviously all their games were called off early in the season at home. So for a ground hopper, that's quite a delight. So you can get to see them on the Tuesday nights. It's just down the road from me. And what they've done with the grounds and the bar, and so it's looking really good. A lot of the time when you go see folks and the pitch was awful, or it might get called off. Now you're not going to get it called off. Everywhere the roads were frozen. I went down thinking, this might even be dangerous with a 3G pitch, but the pitch played perfectly. It's obviously it's one of the newest ones, and it's a good place for Folkestone for football. It was 912 there on a really cold Tuesday night. I think that was pretty impressive. I still think they'll go up if Bigger comes back. I think he's probably the best player in the division.
What's happened with him? One of my mates was saying he'd gone somewhere else, but I know. Big Sam said he's just injured.
Yeah, I think someone said he's got tonsillitis. I was chatting to a couple of guys.
Tonsillitis, and he couldn't play.
I think
they're not real men anymore.
Hospital, I think.
He's in hospital?
I thought someone said he was in hospital. He's got tonsillitis pretty bad. There was other rumours saying he's gone to Crawley, but
see, that's more like it.
Yeah, that would probably be his level. I don't know how they managed to entice him. I think he must be friends with the manager or something, because he's just class apart every time I've seen him. He shouldn't be there, but fair play to them. I still think they'll win the league, and rightfully so.
It's a bit of a wobble now, though, isn't it, Marcus? A little bit of a wobble now.
They've played a couple of the tough teams now. They were having some easier ones coming along. I think they'll do all right. Anyway, that's the Folkestone Appreciation Society.
Oh no, I want them to go up. To be honest, I do. I'm just.
Yeah, cool. So they deserve it, and I'm hoping the weather's going to hold tight for Saturday. We've got Whiteleaf Away, or AFC, whatever they're called now. They've got a 3G pitch, I think. So
yeah, we've been there. Yeah, been there.
Yeah. What about your lot? You've got.
You're going to start? Okay. Should I get my lot out of the way first? Right, I'll get my lot. So obviously we played. Yeah, we only played the one game. It was Ashford away. It was supposed to be a sort of derby. It wasn't a derby. We didn't play it like a derby. It was very disappointing. So that's a terribly scrappy game. Not much quality. Craig Stone, former player with Hastings and former assistant coach, has took over the helm at Ashford. Did a good job. We didn't really deserve anything out of the game. Hats off to Ashford. They won it. It wasn't a great advertisement for Isthmian Southeast football. Kind of stifled each other really. Jack Dixon, who was playing centre half for Ashford, got man of the match. I didn't think we created too much, so I don't know really why he won that, but. No, they were decent, and they've gone on to have a nice little run now. Actually, Ashford, because they were struggling, and I think he's just organised them a little bit better and put a bit of belief into them. He's they've got some decent players there. Obviously, Sam Hasler's still there, and it'd be nice to bump into them all after the game. Met up with Hasler and Jack Dixon, Craig Stone, Stoney's dad, Big Super Malka used to come on the podcast. I did try and persuade them on now, but they've got this Ashford podcast that they can't come on here. Apparently, I don't know why. but to them. But I did ask, I did try. I had some interesting chat with the manager, our manager, David Altendorf, after the game. He thought, he agreed with us about that we weren't too good, but I'd had a bit of a moan on socials, and then he contacted me, and we had a bit of a back and forth. To be fair, sort of corrected me on a few things, I think, and I think what's the plan, the progress, because we've had a lot of changes. We've been through a lot of players. I'm not a fan of that. I'm just not a fan of that. But the people that are at the club now, they're kind of, I think they believe in the shirt a little bit more. That we've had lots of players coming through. That they might get you the odd goal, but they're just there for, they're just transient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, there's a lot of mercenaries in this league.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Because we've got 16 players. We've had 16 players for the last 8 games. A settled team.
Well, that certainly helps, doesn't it?
It does. Funny you mentioning that with all the comings and goings. We had that early in the season where, with our previous manager chopping and changing, bringing players in. We had a couple of really good strikers that come in. The one from Herne Bay, or the black lad, I can't remember his name now.
I think we had him very briefly, and then he went as well.
Yeah, he went as well. Yeah, I don't get it. We got a 40-year-old.
The conversations I've had with the manager, it's that thing of it's all well and good. You get these people in, but you got to have a look at them, and if they're not right, they're not right. And I think maybe that's what you had at Sittingbourne, where you've got those players in, and then maybe they just don't fit in with your club, and it's best to move them on, isn't it? If it's
most definitely.
Either disruptive or not worth the level of money, or at this level, there's always changes, but it has been to a ridiculous degree at Hastings, and that it's needed. To be honest, it's needed to happen. We've been a bit of a basket case for the last few years, as I'm sure you guys watching from afar have watched us sink. I mean,
amazing.
And so we obviously went through a different manager. We've had Lee Carey in, he brought his lot in, and a lot of them were just most of them were kind of local players, but they weren't even Southeast level, and that's the reason why we started.
Wow.
So I mean, you see it yourself, Mark. We've been fairly bad. So I mean, just Dave's got to come in, and all right, we didn't win. We lost to Ashford, which pissed me off, but the good outweighs the bad. There's definitely a positive this season. Yeah, we're not going to do anything, but I could see the fruits, the seeds of the fruit for next season growing. You know what I mean? It's
I looked at the table before we come on, and I was shocked. I thought you were a bit higher than that. You've got 28 points, and you've got like VCD away on Saturday. And they could pull you back and just.
That's the worry. That's the worry. That is, we've got better players that Mark. Like earlier in the season, we wouldn't. You'd go 1-0 down, and it's like that's it. You're not going to have a chance. I mean, you'd know this, John, didn't you? Like sometimes at Canvey, when you are struggling, you're like, okay, that's it. That's the game done. You just think they're not going to create anything, and that's what it was like earlier in the season. Whereas now, there's lots of creative players in there, so that it's a transition in the middle of a season. It's always messy.
Of course, yeah, it's never plain sailing, really. I mean, we had a similar situation, as you know, at the start of the season. We brought in a lot of players who were very untested. Isthmian Premier level, let alone they probably couldn't even play a level or two below, really. So it does take that time, I think, particularly once you do actually start to get that right mix in. And as you say, you've gone through managerial changes as well. That hasn't helped. So trying to get a manager to put their own stamp on the team and get them playing not only particularly how he wants, but having the men that can supply him and the team with what they need. It's a challenge, and doing it halfway through a season in a scramble with other teams around you trying to recruit as well. It's never easy.
Well, it's just that I'll give it a year or two, John, and we'll have a statue of David Altendorf up, mate. So
there we go.
You heard it here. You heard it here first, yeah.
Big comeback.
Yeah. But all right, a couple of things to mention Hastings related. We've got, unfortunately, Steve Weeks passed away, a long-time Hastings fan. There is for those at the next home game, Matt and Lisa Kemp have got a card of condolences that they're trying to get a couple of cards to get all the fans to fill out. So please do that. Find Matt and Lisa. Everyone knows Matt and Lisa. We've also got anniversary of the death of Chris. I mean, one of the sad things of last season, the anniversary of Chris Taylor passing away when he passed away at Chatham at the away game. That's coming up. I think we've got a home game on the 24th. We're trying to sort out with the club about Jan, his missus, maybe doing something for the anniversary. So I would beg and plead with lots of Hastings fans, please come along and show your support, not only to the club, but obviously to Jan and the memory of Chris Taylor, you know, a top bloke. Yeah, moving on. Let's move on from that. Who wants next? Shall we do? I'll tell you what, let's bring in the Big Sam. Come on, Big Sam. All quiet in there. Come on, talk to me. Unluckily for you, Mark can't make it. He's saying about a baby's bottle, he's told me. But you know, you're taught big, mate. It was, you know, talk to me, Rob. What has happened, mate? What has happened?
What has happened? Well, maybe I was a bit giddy when I spoke to you last time.
Yeah.
I might have too much oxygen, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, we were riding the crest of a wave, and we've been kneecapped slightly, which is fine because that's football, and that's what you're in it for. The highs and the lows. You only get the real highs when you get the lows. Not mind you, only losing 3 games in the season is too low. But I mean, as of yet.
Yeah,
as of yet.
No, you haven't heard that. I might be putting some money on you. So that'll be it. That's the killer blow.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I thought.
No, I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to do that to you.
I think you've already done it. No, it was very well summed up by Mark. Actually, I thought what he said about the 2 games. Going back to the 27th today after Boxing Day, played away at Rams. Got a last-minute winner, the last-pass winner there. It was amazing, absolutely incredible fixture over the Christmas period. And then after that, we've had those 2 games. So the Chatham game, like Mark said, that was very sort of, I thought we were second best, really. I thought they caught us cold. And
What, did you underestimate them, do you think, Rob, or was it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we underestimated them. I think I sort of thought they were first to every 50-50 a little bit, you know, in that game. They just looked sharper than us on the day. You've got to give them like 100% credit and I really did think they deserved it. Well, there's no doubt about it. So, and there was a really good bumper crowd there. And just spoke earlier on about the Adi Yusuf injury. That was a real sickener because I don't know. I've only seen it once live, but it looked like a body check or something like that.
Yeah.
And the referee didn't get his card out, and none of the players made a fuss of anything else, but the fact that the player was quite severely injured.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was any intent there from what you can tell from what happened. He was out cold, like spark out, and he didn't move. And it was quite worrying actually to see that. But the players,
is he all right now? Have you heard any updates on him?
Well, they just said on the website that he'd just gone in for tests and stuff like that. But
fair enough.
And they're doing this like concussion protocol that's come into football now. It was a really nasty one.
Yeah, so he's probably out for a couple of weeks then, wouldn't he? Is it concussion? It'd be 2 games, I think, or something like that. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so. I don't know exactly what the protocol is, but he was like spark out, so it was a nasty one. So we'll miss him for definite. We'll miss him because, as was mentioned earlier on, we've had Piggott for the last 2 games. And then last night against Averley, I thought we was a bit unlucky, really, not to equalise. I thought that was a different type of game. They were like super organised, really, really organised defence, and they were quite impressive actually. We've been the last 2 games, we've really been challenged, like really, really been challenged. I thought, and I thought last night we could have got a draw out of that. Not so much the Chatham game. I think they deserve that. I mean, fair play to Averley. They came and they done a job on us. That was a proper away performance, and you know that you're not going to get any of their supporters telling you that they deserve anything else but the win. But I still think with the amount of corners and chances we had, we missed so many sort of key chances. We missed loads of big chances, man. You know, but that's been the story of the last 2 games anyway. And also there was a pretty nasty injury in the game last night where our winger Orgy he got smashed into the
dogging Orgy. What's going on, folks, and mate?
That's his name, mate. That's his name. Don't
Orgy.
mock his name.
Oh, come on. No, you're on the wind up. He's called Orgy.
No, I'm telling you, his name's EK Orgy. Yeah, he's lightning, mate. He's mustard. I'm telling you.
Yep.
But he,
I don't know where he's putting mustard, mate. I don't want to know where the mustard's going.
Anyway, he got poleaxed into the hoarding. I think that was just like a 50-50 shoulder to shoulder thing, and he sort of come off and went into the hoarding basically. But he didn't hit his head or anything like that, but he sort of landed funny, so he came off the pitch. So that was a bit of a nasty one. Yeah, but so I'm not sure what the game against Carl Shorten's going to look like in terms of players. I don't know whether we obviously won't have Addy back. I doubt we'll have that Orgy back, and I'm not sure about Piggott. I only know from what you texted me earlier on that you'd heard some rumours.
Yeah, some rumours he'd gone, but that doesn't mean they're true.
Yeah.
I don't mean it's true.
No, I've literally heard nothing about that. All I've heard that he's ill. But to what I didn't know he was in hospital or anything like that. But goes to show like how much we miss him, because he is. I mean, like I mentioned and like Mark said, he is like levels above where he's playing. He's really he's an excellent player. So yeah, we obviously anyone's going to miss him, aren't they?
Yeah.
So got a chance to get back on track. We don't want to make it 3 in a row. Because we're in a good position.
Where's Carl Shorten at home or away?
No, we've had two home games now. So this one's away. It's a bit
of
and then
to get to that one.
Yeah, I can't go anyway, so I'm working. But that is a bit of a
rebuild Venezuela, mate.
So, mate,
do you like that?
They said you got to rebuild Venezuela. That's why you can't go. Donald Trump's oil.
Viva la revolution! Yeah.
And on that, we'll leave Rob from the mighty Folkestone. Let's go, John Canvey. Lovely win, lovely first win in bloody forever.
Certainly did feel like forever, but if there's one game you want to win in the season, it's that one. Yeah, that was a blinding day, that one. I mean, obviously when we last talked, I talked about the difficult Christmas running we had. Obviously, we'd already played Folkestone by that point. And it didn't seem like it was going to get any easier, Billericay at home and Aveley away. But when I was looking at that, particularly with, I think, obviously taking into context of current form that teams are in, I mean, Ricky had been struggling away from home. So I just thought, we go into it with the right attitude. There's no reason why we can't have a chance in this game. And that was pretty evident from the word go. It was a good crowd there. All our fans were really up for it. And from the word go, I thought we played really well. One of the better performances we had this season, certainly. I think it's funny, in the last few games, and it's probably a theme I'll touch on a little bit more, you've been able to see our sort of strengths and weaknesses in full bloom, really. And obviously, the strength that we definitely had in that game, I think, there was a lot of tenacity about the way we played. We were quite organised. I think, particularly in defence, that's the best I've seen.
I see the highlights. You're throwing bodies in front of it. You definitely wanted it.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, at the back we were set up really well. I mean, there were some absolutely stellar performances. I mean, our sort of big man at the back, Kendai Dariri, he was absolutely brilliant in that game. The best game I've seen Joe Halsey have as well. Out on the sort of wing back position, and we stopped them creating much. Obviously, another, I think, good factor in that game as well was Jacob Marsden. He won the man of the match. Thanks for that, Aaron, by the way. Good little keeper.
He's a traitor.
You know what? It really did surprise me, actually, that, I mean, this ain't even trying to throw shade at Concord. I think it would have been the case for maybe anyone in the Isthmian North, with maybe the exception of Malden because of the money. But it really surprised me that he was only at that level, because he's played National South, with Dartford and Chelmsford, and a good keeper by rights. So I thought to myself it was surprising that he had dropped down to sort of step 4. So obviously getting him in, I think, was a big help, considering, after Peter Taylor's wonderful decision to alienate our first choice keeper for the last couple of years, and then fill in with, with all due respect to the other boys, an Isthmian North keeper and then a couple of loanees. Actually having a proper staying keeper now is a good sign. And, he seems to be working really well with the back line. So it's good to see. But I would say in that game, that was definitely our biggest strength. But obviously the weakness, funny enough, really, was we could have had a hatful. I mean, it's not even me trying to boast about beating Billericay because of the rivalry and anything, but I think really we could have had about 3 or 4 against them if we could just take our chances. I know Finley Durrell, we had a couple of big chances where I think one, he sort of chipped the keeper and just put it wide. And then there was another one, I think, where he got into a sort of one-on-one and just couldn't bury
He
it.
snatched it.
One or two chances. Yeah. So, you know, as the game was going on, you know, I think as we sort of heading towards the last bits of the game, it looked like we were going to be the more likely team to score. And, you know, thankfully, whilst we are sort of, I think, still maybe lacking proper goal scoring forward, we do at least have one forward who's a bit of a battering ram in Callum Newson. And he come on, made himself, a bit of a nuisance, got to head of their keeper. Bit of controversy about whether it did cross the line or not. I'm going to say it did. I'm going to preserve the mythos. People have looked back at the angles. Maybe that might have been one that VAR could have took 10 minutes on. But, you know, we'll take it all day long. And to get in the time of the game we did, it was around about the 90th minute we got it.
Perfect
it was
timing.
just, absolute bedlam winning that. So I think that left us on a real high, particularly, as I say, going into a string of games where we didn't think we were going to take anything. And, you know, obviously, you said get one over on one of your biggest rivals is always a nice feeling. You know, that took us into Averley, and that I did suspect was going to be a more difficult game. Obviously, as Rob touched on, they're a really organised side at the moment. I certainly can't fault the job that Brett Magnard's doing there. He's put together a good little side, and they seem to be making some shrewd additions there as well. I think with their league positioning certainly helping with that. And they seem to have utilised a guy we used to banter about was a better cricketer than a footballer at one point in Chris Harris. He's he was with us last season. To be fair, got a couple of big goals, important player, but I just had a sneaky feeling he was going to score against us. And lo and behold, he got the game's opener. You know, I mean, we started well at that point as well. I think we'd had a chance just come straight across the frame of the goal. Looked on the ascendancy, and then I think they, particularly in their wing play, punished us. I don't know if it's a thing about us playing on 3G or just at that ground, but we just, I don't know,
No,
seem
we
to get
never
burned.
got anything at Averley.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was only on a couple of occasions we managed to actually get wins there. And a succession of teams have played there, you know. I mean, Aaron will probably be able to tell you as well, a lot of teams seem to use that ground when they're having ground issues for whatever reason. Where it been Bowers, Billericay in the last few years, Grays were the only team we could seem to beat there, but we always seem to beat them anyway. But yeah, you know, they got 2 goals in quick succession. It was, a bit haphazard defending for us. I think we got shell-shocked by the first and then a bit poor for the second. So that woke us up a bit. We had a couple of chances, a couple of good saves from their keeper, and we needed that first goal in the second half, and we got it within a few minutes. So I thought, right, okay, come on, let's get into these here. But again, I think it comes back to that whole sort of strengths and weaknesses we had. We obviously were without the striker I mentioned previously, Newsom, in that game, whether he was off ill or unavailable that game, I'm not too sure. But I think it left us without an out-and-out striker again, and that showed, I think, in a few of the chances we created. You really needed a target man there to bury him, and we didn't have that. So it allows that initial pressure we put on to Averley to fade, and when they got the third, it just kind of killed it as a contest, really. After that, you know, it was a lot of huff and puff from both sides, really. I think they were happy just to shut up shop at that point. They had their win, so you know, all we could really do was banter their manager about how cold it was after that. Actually, if you want, I'll give you a little side story on that.
Go on.
Brett Magnard used to manage Brighton Sea Region a few years back in the Isthmian Premier, and we had them around this time of year. Again, another period of time where it was really cold snap. A lot of games getting called off, and I think there'd been a fair bit of snow and ice up in sort of North Essex, Suffolk border way. Yet none down on the sort of Thames side bit of Essex. So we were all obviously ready to get the game on. We've got to get this game on. We need to get games under our belt. We had a big fixture list piling up, and they were having a right moan about it. And he was quite vocal about it on Twitter about how, you know, it's dangerous for them to come down or like something like that. How the game shouldn't have been played.
Yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah, and we beat them 3-0 that night as well. And I think we were singing 3 degrees and 3-0 up. But obviously from the word go in that game, he was getting a fair bit of stick about how cold it was. But obviously, fair play to him. He had the last laugh in it. And as I say, obviously you can see they're an organised side. So it was another one of those games where I thought, it's going to be really hard to get something there.
Well, you
But
got Saturday.
it takes Saturday, we've got Lewis at home, and it is the start of, I'd say, probably the make or break month of our season, really. We were meant to have Chichester on Tuesday night, but that was called off the evening previous, obviously, with the cold weather and the distance I had to travel, probably the most sensible decision. But yeah, I think, have 5 games this month, with 4 of them being at home. Lewis on Saturday, Chatham the following Tuesday, and then 2 absolutely massive games within 2 weeks against Welling and Potters Bar, with Whitehawk sandwiched in the way between that for good measure as well. So games we really need to be targeting wins from. If this is going to be a month to drag ourselves out of the mud, and particularly with how we have played at home, I think that tenacity we do seem to have at home, particularly the way the crowd is behind the team as well, that does still give me optimism for getting out of the situation we're in. It was definitely evident in the Billericay game.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were absolutely fighting for your lives in that game, gave everything, and you play against the Lewis. Lewis they're beatable. They're a beatable side.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're a sort of mixed bag at the moment. I was going to have a look at the form table. I didn't realise they'd sort of crept up it a little bit, but away from home, I don't think they've gotten too many results. And obviously, again, obviously Chatham will be the most difficult of those fixtures, obviously.
Yeah,
but
that's a difficult one.
A cold Tuesday night on Canvey, anything can happen. And obviously, let's say those games against Welling and Potters Bar are absolutely vital now. We can't afford to be dropping points in those, really, because it either strengthens the position teams around us or, drags us both into the mud, really. We really need to do our bit now, because we're not getting a lot of favours from other results in the league. Other teams do seem to be winning around us. Hashtag have picked up a bit of form just above us. A couple of teams have pulled away from it, and it's dragged in the likes of Cole Charlton and Cheshunt again. So, yeah, this month is going to be vital for us, particularly, as I say, with those home games. We've got to be up for it. And, I think the team, I think will all be up for it. From what I've seen, they're all still fighting for each other out there. The fans have got their back in it as well. That was evident after the Aveley game. No one was too disappointed. As I say, we weren't particularly bad that game. Just Aveley were good. They were a better side, and I'm not going to fault for that at all. But yeah, we've said, this is a big month, boys. Go on, we've got your back in this. Just do your thing, and let's try and get out of this. So, this could be an interesting month now, and we'll have to see where we are at the end of it. I think if we can drag ourselves to even within maybe a point or two, if not, maybe even drag ourselves completely out of the relegation zone, depending on how the results go. I'll be certainly sitting here with a far different tone come February. But if we do squander that opportunity, then it's going to be a long, long way back. And it bears not thinking about. But I'm not going to sit and dwell on what ifs. It's just going to have to be.
Well, yeah, it's in your hands, isn't it? 4 home games out of 5. It doesn't really. It almost doesn't matter who you're playing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You just got to be at them. And yes, for the lack of quality, you can make up the 5-10% with a bit of spirit and battle, and any time anyone beats Lewis is a good day.
Exactly. I mean, I try and keep my ear to the ground about sort of comings and goings in the team as well. I think obviously one thing we said we were short on definitely is a striker, and out goal scorer. We are definitely in the market for someone. I've heard a name or two touted about. We might have someone nailed down. But obviously, I'll leave that until it's actually all said and done, rather than jinx it.
Oh, come on, you're giving me no exclusives. Giving me no exclusives.
As usual. I'd put the geezer's name if I tried giving it a go.
As long as it's not orgy or something like that.
No.
Bukai or something like that.
We're a bit platonic on Canvey in that regard. But no, I think that and another midfielder we're looking to bring in as well. So if we can get them done, get a bit more steel in that side, and obviously put our chances away. We've obviously still got one of our key attacking threats in Louis Remy to come back from injury yet as well. So if we can, get that. Iron out those weaknesses and keep that tenacity at home, then there's no reason we can't dig ourselves out.
Get a bit closer, definitely. Thanks for that, John. Thank you very much. Well, we move over to Rob from Horsham. A few iffy results for Horsham, but luckily you had a trip to Eastbourne, who are very generous, and you're back on winning ways to cheer up that Lolly Army and get yourself
We're
back
always
in.
cheery, you know that.
Yes, I have
railway
witnessed
platforms
that.
will,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Always banging bodies.
We're always cheering, mate. There's nothing not
yes.
to be. Yeah, no, it's been that festive period. It's been a bit odd, really. You know, we took 700 to Dorking. That it was. We had a couple of one-on-ones, and we just didn't take our opportunities in those sort of games you need to. But the second half they came out, and they should have had the most blatant red you've ever seen in your life. But that's just nitpicky, really. They still probably deserved it on the second half, and that's that's what the National League South can do. They can bring on these players that can change games, and so that was it was a bit of a mirror game, really. It wasn't the greatest ground to go to. It was bloody freezing. It was cold, but it was good fun anyway. But and then Tuesday night back return after that to Farnborough, going 2-0 down within 20 minutes. We were blowing, we were struggling. We're hitting that wall. I talk about that bubble. I wouldn't say the bubble burst, but we're definitely hitting the wall. And you're asking, we're all talking about short, like small squads, and I'm a massive believer of that. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we got promoted, because you're 14, 16 players, and in the Isthmian Premier you can get away with that, with the physicality and the power in the National League South. And we're struggling a little bit more, and you're asking these same players to go to the well, time and time again. But they got a man sent off, and that definitely changed the game against Farnborough to go back to 2-2. And it was a bit disappointing we couldn't then kick on to try and get the third. But, it's probably been a bit harsh, but, it's just one of those things. And then, we had Maidenhead on Saturday. We were 1-0 up. And again, it just looks, it just looks like players are beginning to sort of run on empty. So it was a little bit frustrating in that front. And then, they scored a 95th plus minute winner. They deserved the win, to be fair. It could have been 3-4. They missed a penalty. On that front, it's been a bit annoying. But we've never been out of games. We've always been in them. I think come on to last night, and the boy, you could tell they probably had a bit of a talking to. They came out flying, to be fair. And again, it's if we can finish the chances, it would have been 3 or 4 by half time. And so it's nice to get 2-0 clean sheet, back to winning ways. It's a tough month coming up. It was a tough end to December, and it's a tough start and a tough finish. We've got next 2 games. Well, we've got Leatherhead and the FA Trophy on Saturday, if that goes ahead, and then Three Bridges in the Sussex Senior Cup quarter-final, and then 2 games to finish with Chelmsford at home and Bath at home. So, and then we've got Worthing on the 17th as well, so just be chucked in there for good measure. So, look, it's going to be tough. We are sort of down to 14, 15 players, I believe. And then all through this period, we've missing 2 of our main players. So to come out of that,
You've just brought a couple in, haven't you? I'm sure.
So we've lost one. So at the moment, we're sort of 1 in, 1 out. Ricky Aguilar went back to York on loan, went back, and then we brought in Sol Kadir from Bromley, who was I think Cray, picked up a couple of goals in a couple of games. So look, so we'll see how he does. Hopefully, he can bang a few in. Like I say, it's been points wise, it's been pretty poor, but performances wise, and we're in games, we've never been out of them. That's we've got the best record in the National League South. We're probably 8 points away from reaching the magic 50 mark. So it's phenomenal what they've done. Yeah. So we can't really moan, and you've got to give these boys a bit of leeway what they've done. But it's pretty impressive to watch. But yeah, it's going to be a tough few months, I think. Well, I think the second half of the season, we always said it. Look, once we all know it, once they've seen you play once, the sort of element of surprise goes. These boys are full time. They'll review what you do, and it's going to be tough. But look, we need, I'd say, 1 more win's probably there. But everyone wants that 50 and then see where we are. But then we'll go to the cups, and hopefully we can go a long way on that with the FA Trophy. I think that's going to be a big part of this season. I know Don wants to do well in it personally, so yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a tough game against Leatherhead, but knocked out Hampton and Richmond a couple of rounds ago, so look, we'll see what happens. But it's been pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, with obviously his policy of having that small squad, you've obviously got a big fixture congestion coming up. Do you think he's going to bring a couple more in? I mean, what has he been saying to yourself? Because he's obviously thinking about this. He's no mug, is he, Dom? He's a very good manager.
Look, I think he always comes out and says he never likes signings, which I think is a good one thing. Like you say, you don't want to turn over 40, 50 players. And he'll always try and bring in the right ones. I think the low market will be massive. We are limited to budget. We are one of the smallest budgets in that league, and it's no surprise. You look at the teams that are in there and the finances that are backing them. We haven't got that money to go and splash on a strike or whatever. You know, he distributes it well, and
cut run must be helping though.
Exactly, the cut run does
yeah.
it does help. Of course, it helps. But obviously, the higher you go up, and you know everything else that comes with
Everything
it.
else costs,
Yeah, exactly, and you've got to do gradients for the next league above for stadiums. So yeah, it'd be. It's no surprise you've seen one go back Saturday and one come in yesterday. I think that's what it'll be like for most of the season. I'll be surprised. I'm sure he's trying to look at getting one or two in. We've got a couple of players hopefully coming back soon. It's Hester Cook, who's arguably player of the season, missing for the last over the festive period, the last 4 weeks. Lee Harding, who was right back. We've been missing him for a bit. So hopefully they come back in. You got Montel, who's out on loan. Hopefully he's due back soon. So look, that fits the get some more players in through the building, and hopefully we can just. Look, it's a tough bloody league. It's not, you look at Maidenhead on Saturday and they're full time and they're all giants. They know what they're doing. They're a defensive unit. They work as one. So to be where we are is just, I think no one in their wildest dreams would have thought come first week of January where we are, and 42 points. You could argue we're probably pretty much there already, but that magic number, I think, was 50 before a ball was kicked. So I think that's what everyone's looking at. And that's what we're looking at as fans. And then we'll just go and see what can happen in the Cups, We've got the Sussex Senior Cup. If we can hope, get through Three Bridges, we're in a semi-final. You're one win away from a final again. And, we've won it the 2 years on the trot. So why not three? Another good day down in Brighton. So, it's not much to whinge and moan about. And you can be just like Saturday, for example, I was disappointed for about an hour. And then you realise, you can always have a moan. That's why we go and watch sport. You're pissed off that you lost the last minute goal, but you can't, annoyed for an hour, and then you sort of go, hang on a minute.
Look at bigger picture.
Yeah, look where we are and look where other teams are and look what we're trying to do. So, although it's been a poor result-wise on the pitch for Christmas, it's been enjoyable and fun, and that's the way it's always going to be when we try and go and support the team. So, we'll see what the second half of the season brings. I'm sure it's going to be a lot tougher. But we'll see.
All right. Well, thanks, chaps. Thanks very much. Obviously, I wish you all the very best of luck on Saturday, whoever you're playing. We've got the mighty VCD Athletic. Unfortunately, I'm working, but I might be able to get out of work early and travel down to that magnificent ground.
That is one seriously cold ground. One of the coldest I've ever been at a football ground.
But Mark from Sittingbourne, John from Canvey, Aaron from the mighty Concord, Big Sam, Rob from Folkestone, of course, Rob from Horsham. Wish you all the very best. See you next time and see you at the game.
Have a good one.
All the best.
Cheers.